One of the all-time greats of New Zealand trotting, Maurie Holmes. He won the first ever Inter-Dominion staged in Christchurch. Potluck and unfavoured gelding beat Parisienne, the champion, on points. As with 1938, the weather dominated the 1951 series. In what was described as one of the greatest races of all time, Maurie Holmes became the first driver to land 2 Inter-Dominion finals. This time he was driving the leading stake earner that season, Vedette. 1961 will be remembered for one of the closest finishes on record. The late Doug Watts driving outsider Massacre, edged by a nose the favourite False Step, whose run from 48 yards out was unforgettable.
A length to Lady Belm on the inside, then Massacre on the outer, then a length to False Step, and there he goes as they pass the tanks moving round on the outer. A length to Maestro's Melody on the inside and Gent on the outside. They've got 3 to go, and round the far bend they make their way, and it's Diamond Hanover on the inside and Robert Dill in the middle. False Step is 3 out to the outside of Arania, with Giuseppe getting the trail on the inside. Massacre's following False Step. They've got 2 to go. Then we've got Lady Belm on the inner, followed by Red Win on the inside of Gentry, Maestro's Melody on the inner, and you can count the rest out. They race round the bend for home. They straighten up for the run to the judge now, and it's Robert Dillon, Diamond Hanover, Arania, and Giuseppe, and False Step away out in the middle of the track, being out the length. He's tried and do his best. Massacre is coming home well away out on the outside, and it's Massacre, False Step, and Arania, the Nick and Nick stride for stride, and Lady Belmer, and I won't place it as they cross the line.
Most people on course, including the drivers, were sure False Step had won. The winner of 3 New Zealand Cups was returned to the birdcage first by driver Cess Devine. But Judge Harry Spicer's call gave the decision to Massacre by a nose. A shocked Devine later admitted that he would have wagered any amount that he had won. 1971, and a year of controversy and Junior's Image.
Junior's Image pulled out from the fence to go round on the outer, and they race for the far bend, and round the bend they go, and Junior's Image, it strides into the lead. It's away in the lead by a length and a half, by 2 lengths as they come round toward the 2 of the Australians, and the crowd in a frenzy, and Junior's Image is away by 5 lengths now from Manara. A length to Holy Hell, a length and a half then to Royal Count, followed by Stella Frost on the outside. But round the bend they come, they straighten up, they come along to the furlong post, and Junior's Image is the leader. Junior's Image being kept up to its work from Manara. Then we've got Holy Hell, followed by Stella Frost. Junior's Image stopping a wee bit, but hanging on. Manara bridges the gap. They race for the judges' line. I won't name it. We've got Junior's Image on the inside of Manara. Stella Frost is 3 wide, and Last Flood is 4 wide.
The first and only disqualification in Inter-Dominion history. Australian driver Phil Coulson was adjudged guilty of doping Junior's Image. He paid the penalty, a 7-year disqualification. The race was later awarded to Stella Frost, with Manaroa taking 2nd place and the Victorian Last Flood 3rd. While 1971 was marred by controversy, it was all glory in 1979, the year of Peter Wolfenden.
Mark Gavina marking time, followed by Icewise and Rocky Trikes and Miss Perd and Trusty Scott, 2 lengths the nimble Yankee, and Lord Module with a job in front of him, about 6 lengths from the leader. Round the far side they go, 500 to run, and Sapling the leader seems to be going well. We win up on his outside, followed by Rondell. Mark Gavina's hooked out to go around Michael Frost, weakening, then Miss Perd and Rocky Trikes. Further in, Trusty Scott in a traffic jam. Icewise and Lord Modules have to go round a lot of them with Nimble Yankee. They turn for home, 20 to run in the Inter-Dominion, and Sapling lines them up from We Win and Mark Gavina. Lord Modules smoking down the outside at a great rate, but Sapling in front, and Peter Wolfenden gets the gap on the inside with Rondell. We Win can't do it. Miss Bird's running on right around Rocky Trikes. Sapling under pressure. Rondell, the giant killer along the rail. Sapling and Rondell. Rondell wins the Inter-Dominion from Sapling. Miss Bird followed in by We Win and Trusty Scott in a photo. Rocky Trikes wide around.
No Inter-Dominions would be complete without this man, the face of Maurice Holmes, one of the trotting legends that has been so much a part of any Inter-Dominion competition here at Christchurch. 1938 Maurice Holmes, 1951. Probably a little similar, I would suspect, with the weather conditions we've got here tonight.
Yes, it was similar, yeah.
What happened on that occasion? What happened with the rain?
Well, it just kept raining, you know, but it went for such a long time. You know, they had to put off 2 or 3 days. It just carried on for about a week or a fortnight more than it should have.
And a different track surface then too, I suppose.
Well, it gets different, yeah.
What about Potluck? Tell me a little bit about this horse that won it then.
Well, he was a good horse. When he had to be, or he wouldn't have won. You know, and he won that really well too. See, Parisian was the favourite. She'd won 3 races, and she come into the straight 3 or 4 lengths in front, and he beat her pretty comfortable.
It was a strange system in those days, it would appear to me now, that they decided a grand champion on points and also an overall final winner.
Yeah, that's right, that's what they did. The one that had the most points was the champion, but the other horse got the money for winning the main race.
What about 1951? What do you remember about that particular race?
Well, I just remember that with a quarter of a mile to go, I didn't look like having any chance of getting a go, you know. Well, then he was just lucky, fluked it run, and he won.
Morris, as a driver right through that period, you competed in a number of Inter-Dominions. What was it like to drive in an Inter-Dominion?
No different to anything else. No different to a maiden race.
The fact that the Australians were here, wasn't there a bit of greater rivalry?
Oh, there's never any rivalry. Everybody's there just to do the best. You know, it's all the same, you know. If you get interfered with, most times it's just unlucky, bad luck. They don't do it purposely.
You had a marvellous record for that. I think you were one of the gentleman drivers right throughout your career. I suppose it was one of the hardest decisions ever to have to give it away when you finally did.
No, it wasn't, because I've been going such a long time. See, I won my first race in 1925, and that was 74 when I finished. And I was very lucky that day, you know. I won 4 races that day, so I finished up pretty good.
Let's talk about Wedgwood, because Wedgwood is your big chance of winning another Inter-Dominion in the later race tonight, the second heat of the Trotters. Do you think he'll handle these conditions?
I'm sure he will, yes. He handled them, you know, a fortnight ago, so there's no reason why he shouldn't tonight.
Now, he's up against some spirited opposition, obviously. Have you always believed that he was an Inter-Dominion horse?
Yeah, well, I've always thought he was good because he was, as a 2-year-old and as a 3-year-old, he was, you know, up the top. So, only thing he's a little bit younger than most of them.
Morris, finally, thank you for joining us. What was your appraisal of that first heat there with the 2 Australian pacers dominating?
Well, I don't think the others had much excuse, did they?
Didn't look as though they did.
That's right.
Okay, Morris Holmes, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you aboard.
Good. Pleased to be here.
There we are, Morris Holmes,
okay,
with his thoughts on the Inter-Dominions, and what a marvellous man he's been for New Zealand trotting.